Okay, I hope we were done until the Cartesian product. Yes. And the intersection, set difference operators, everything was done. We are left out with joins, okay? And I clearly told you that minus is not supported in your MySQL, as well as intersection is not supported in your SQL. So we worked with union all with an example in your MySQL. I hope it was clear with you. Now, what are the ways in which you can perform set difference operator and intersection operator would be done with the help of joins. So how you perform these operators would be with respect to joins. So what we will study in the future, maybe today after half an hour or in the next class. Okay, so before we actually go to joins, I'll just work with introduction to views. So there's something called as views. I'll start off with introduction to views. Okay, so these are termed as virtual tables. The views are termed as virtual tables, which is again similar to a table. Views are termed as virtual tables, which is again similar to a table in the sense that it is also a combination of rows and columns. So like a table, a view is also having rows and columns. And we can create a view by selecting one or more fields from one or more tables that are present in the database. So we can create a view by selecting one or more fields from one or more tables that are present in the database, meaning they should have already been created. The tables from which you're going to create a view should already been created. And a view can either have all the rows of a table or specific rows of a table based on a certain condition. So these are the things that we have to keep in our mind whenever we are working with a view. In order to make it simple, view is a virtual table. View is a virtual table which is made up of rows and columns. So it's indirectly a table in the sense that it is also made up of rows and columns, but it is taken from the already existing tables that are present in the database. It is taken from already existing tables that are present in the database, and it is not necessary that all the rows that are present in the existing tables should be a part of a view. All the rows that are existing in a specific table should be part of a view. Okay. Now, I'm taking two tables that are already existing in my database. One is the student details. I'm working with a table called student details, which has SID, name and address as its attributes with 5 rows. And then I have student marks. One is a student table and one is a student marks. And student marks consist of ID, name, marks, and age. This particular ID is coming from the student table. Okay, you can see ID, name. Again, one Harsh, and here also it would be the same. One is Harsh. So these two are coming from the student table. I'm just taking two tables over here. Now, I'll be working with these two tables in order to create views. Now see, creating a view. How do I create a view? So whatever database object you want to create in your DBMS, you are going to use a create statement. You are going to use a create keyword. Okay, we can create a view using a create view statement. So whenever I wanted to create a table, I used to use create table statement. Here I'm going to work with create view statement. Here I'm going to work with create view statement. And as I already told you, a view can be created from a single table or multiple tables. A view can be created from a single table or multiple tables. And the syntax for creating a view is create view, view name as select column 1, column 2 from table name where condition. Since it is part of a select of another table, you're going to use select of another table. So create view, view name as select set of columns from a table name that is already existing where a particular condition is satisfied, if at all you want to work with a condition. So this is the syntax. Now, how do you create a view from a single table? How do you create a view from a single table? I'll show you with a live example. Sema, all of you can see the MySQL window, okay? So here, see tables. I've got certain tables in my CSCD database. I'm selecting the data that is present in your student table. Select star from student. So there are 3 columns, 2 rows in the student table. Now I want to create a view from this particular table. So what I'm trying to do is create view. This is the syntax you need to follow. Create view v3 as select star from. I want to store the complete information of the student table into a view. Now query, okay, 0 rows affected. Now if at all I try to run the same query, it throws an error that table v3 already existing. I told you blindly, it is a virtual table. That is the reason it is not giving you as a queue, as a view. Rather, it is giving you as a table v3 is already existing. So this is the way you're going to work with a view using a single table. I'll just go through the syntax here. See, create view. The name of the view is details view. The name can be anything which is valid or meaningful. The name can be anything which is valid or meaningful. So create view, details view. As what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to only work with name and address of the student. So here as select name comma address from student details where s_id is less than 5. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create a view from the student details whose ID is less than 5. So that is the condition I've put over here. In the previous case, when I was working with MySQL, I did not put any condition. So where is not a compulsory condition over here. So this is the way you're going to create a view using a single table. I hope it's clear, ma. Is it clear, ma? Any problem with how you're going to work with a view? Yes? Now, how do you display the information that is stored in a view is the next step. So once you're done with creating a view, how do you display the information that is present in the view? So it is again using the select statement, which is nothing but your DML statement. So now what I can do, select star from v3. If at all I write this, whatever the information that was present in your student table, completely I've taken it into the view. That is the reason the complete information is coming out. That is the reason the complete information is coming out into the view. And here you can select any particular column also. Select S name from V3. You can do this. Okay, whatever you want, how you have done with your normal table functionality, you can do with your view also. Okay, so see, for displaying information from a view, you're going to use select star from details view. Okay. So this is one more way of creating a view, Amma, wherein you are trying to create a view based on the alphabetical order of your names. Okay, so order by, group by, everything I'll tell you in the third unit. So as of now, don't worry about this particular statement. Create view student names as select S_ID, comma name from student details, order by name. So order by name will sort the information with respect to name. So as of now, what is order by? Don't worry, Amma. So this way also you can create a view. Now, how do I create a view using multiple tables? That is more than one table. How do I create a view? So see, create view, marks view. Now the name of the table is marks view. Sorry, the name of the view over here is marks view. Similar to the above creation, again you're going to use as select student details dot name, student details dot address, student marks dot marks from student details, comma student marks. So see, Amma, there is a name and ID in both the tables. There is a name and ID in both the tables that were created. So see, student details has S_ID, and here also I've got ID. So here both the names are different. I need not bother. But whenever I'm talking about student details, name is Harsh, Ashish, and here also student marks, there is a field called name. So there would be an ambiguity. There would be a confusion from which particular relation you are choosing which particular attribute. That is the reason we are working with this particular concept. So see, create view, marks view as select. So this particular name field belongs to student details. In order to club that, you are using a dot operator over here. So student details dot name, student details dot address, comma student marks dot marks from the table student details and student marks. So name and address is coming from the student details, while marks is coming from the student marks table, where student details dot name is equal to student marks dot name. So what is the condition over here is there should be same names in both the tables. There should be same names in both the tables. Then only I'll be able to create a view, or else whatever view I'm going to create, if at all there is no matching, I'll be getting a null set. So no data would be entered into the view. So that is useless for me. That is the reason I'm working with a condition. Or here what you can do is student details dot S_ID is equal to student marks dot ID. So the conditions could be based on the common rows, common domains in both the tables. That is the way you're trying to create a view using multiple tables. Any problems with this, Ma? Any problems with this? Okay. Now, deleting views or removing views from the database, you can use the concept of drop command, drop view, view name. So what I can do is I can use simple thing, drop VIEW view V3. So whatever the view I've created, that would be drop. Now select star from V3 gives me an error. So the table V3 does not exist because it has been dropped using the drop command. Okay, now whenever you want to update a view, what you have to do. So sometimes what will happen once you have created a view, you might want to change that particular view. Now what you can do with that particular thing. So see, now select star from student. Please try to note it down, ma. Create view V3 as select S name from. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to only work with one column in V3. Select star from V3. So I just have name, but after some time, what happened was I even wanted to have SH. So what I can do is I'll write the same statement. Create view V3 as select S name, comma, SH from student. This gives me an error. So using this, I'm not able to update the existing view. In order to update the existing view, what I have to do is I have to use create or replace view. Create or replace view. So I'll use this particular statement in order to work with updating the existing view. Create or replace view V3 as select S name, comma, SH from student. Now see what is happening. Even though V3 was existing, I'm able to create or replace. So if at all V3 is not created, it will create V3 with the fields SName and SH. And if at all V3 is already existing, it will replace the existing V3 with the new fields. Now, if at all I write select star from V3, I'm able to add SH. Now, if at all I want to add S marks also, what will happen? I can write over here S marks. Press enter. Then I'll be able to work with all the three columns. So this way you're going to work with create or replace. Now, if at all you want to remove something, you can do that also. Updation is possible. So see, in the previous case, it was 3. Now it is 2. Okay, you can make that into 1. You can modify it any way you wish to. So this is about updating existing views. Now you can even perform insertions into a view. You can perform insertions also. Again, what you can do is you have to work with insert into. I'm working with the total view. Select star from V3. So every data I'll be getting, and I'm also working with select star from student. So see how many rows are present in both the tables. V3, there are 2 rows, and V2, there are 3 rows, 2 rows. Okay, now what I'm trying to do is insert into V3 values. Its name is Hari, comma, age is 22, comma, marks is 55. Sorry. Okay, Ma. So this is the data. Now I want to insert one more row into V3. Insert into V3 values Hari, comma 22, comma 55. Okay. Now, will the data go into the student table or will the data go into V3, Amma? Can anyone answer? Will the data go into V3 or the student table? V3. Okay. Now see, select star from V3. How many rows are there right now in V3? So 3 rows. I have performed an insertion operator with respect to V3. Now, what will happen is this change will be affected in both the tables because the data that is present in V3 is coming from the student table. So what I'm trying to do is select star from student. So see, I can see Hari that was updated or that was inserted into V3 is also reflected in student table. Now, if at all you want to perform a delete operation also, it will be affecting both the tables. So delete from V3 where age is equal to 33. Sorry, it is SH. Okay, now select star from V3. Only 2 rows are present. So if at all I'm selecting data from V3, only 2 rows are present. Now, instead of that, I'll select from student. So again, 2 rows. So whatever the changes you're making to the view are also reflected in the original table. 7N, is it clear, Ma? You're facing any problem? You're listening or what? Okay. Any questions, Ma, regarding views? So see, we can perform insertion into view using the insert keyword. All of you know that. How you are working with insert keyword? Sorry. Okay, so this is about the concept of views. Just go through the slides for 2 minutes. You have any questions, you can ask me with respect to views. Just go through the slides for 2 minutes, Ma. No. Dropping a view will not affect the table, ma. So already I dropped the view, but the table is still existing. Any questions? Or is it clear, ma, all of you? Please respond. Switch on your cameras, all of you. Okay. Next, going with altering tables, ma. So what kind of a command is alter, ma? If you remember, alter is what kind of command? DML, Rohit? Is it DML? So what are the different commands that come under DML? Different commands that come under DML. Select. Next, insert, update, delete. Okay. So why alter has come into DML then? So you are trying to change the schema definition, Amma. Try to remember. You're trying to change the schema definition over here. Okay. Now see, MySQL provides the alter function that helps us to change the already existing database design. I'm completely reading the statement because this is what you have to go work with. So in order to make it simple, when you have a table already created with a set of attributes and given the data types to the set of attributes, and you feel that you would like to change the data types of a particular attribute, or you would want to add one more attribute, or you would like to delete an existing attribute, then you're going to use the concept of altering the tables. So the alter command is used to modify an existing database table. So whenever you are interested in modifying the existing table, you're going to use the alter command. Okay. So see, the syntax for altering a table is alter table, table name, add column, column name, data type. So whenever you are trying to alter a table's definition, you're going to use the alter keyword with the following syntax. Alter table. So alter table, name of the table which you want to alter, what you want to do. I want to add a column. What particular column you want to add is the name of the column and then followed by the data type. You're going to follow it with the data type. Okay. Now see, here I've taken a very big example, which is show columns from members. So there is a members table that is already existing in my database, and I'm interested in finding what are the columns that are existing in the database. So these are the columns now. Membership number, full names of the members, gender, date of birth, physical address, postal address, contact number, email. So these are the fields that are existing. Maybe I forgot to add one more field, or maybe I'm interested in dropping an existing field. Then I can use the concept of alter command. See, alter table members, add column, credit card number. So I forgot to add a column called credit card number. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to add that particular column with a particular data type. Now the same thing I'll do with respect to the student table that was already existing. So see, what I'm trying to do is describe student. So how many fields are there? There are 3 fields now. Now what I'm trying to do is alter table student, add S name is this, S age is there, S marks is there. I'll add a field called gender, add column gender var char of 2. So see, query okay, 2 rows affected. Now the same thing I'm trying to describe student. Now see, previously it was 3, now it is 4. Now what will happen with respect to the data of gender would be treated as null because I did not enter any data for gender. Select star from student. So the gender field would be treated as null. Now what you have to do is you have to update the table by giving values to gender. That is compulsory you have to do. You have to do it compulsorily whenever you try to add. That is the reason we say that whenever you perform the requirement analysis, perform the analysis in a way that no modification should be done in the future. Okay. So this is used for adding a column into the members table. Now, whenever you want to drop a column that is existing, so what I can do, alter table, table name, drop column, column name. So I've just created a column called gender. Now I'll drop that particular column, alter table student, drop column gender. Very okay, 2 rows affected. Now what is happening if at all I select data from student, that particular column with name gender would be lost since I have dropped that particular column name. Now if at all I want to drop one more column also, I'll drop that, not an issue, using the drop command. Using the drop command, I can drop it. Okay. Now, whenever you are interested in changing the data types or name of the columns, you're going to work with something which is called as change keyword. So you're going to work with change keyword in order to change the constraints of a column, change the name of a column, and change the data type of a column. So see, alter table members, change column, which particular column you want to change into which particular name. See here, S name is there. I want to make that as name. What I'll do, alter table student, alter table student. Then what I'm going to work with is change column. So see here, change column, S name, name. Line, what is the problem? COLUMN. Alter table this is not working, ma. S name is already existing. Alter table student. Change column. Wait a minute, ma. Okay, see, I'm also changing the data type over here, Amma. So initially it was, how much it was? It was varchar of 12. Now I'm changing that to varchar of 20. The name is also changed. Describe. So now see, look at the fields. Field, it was initially S name. Now it has been changed to name with the new data type varchar of 20. Maybe I thought that I have to increase the size of the field. So I have also increased the size of the field. But whatever data is present in the database, that will not be affected. So select star from student. So see, instead of S name, now the field name is name, and the data that was already existing, Sundar and Hari, are also present in the table. See, sometimes we have to just practice the queries, or else we get small errors. Practice, practice. A lot of queries you have to practice. That's it. Okay, so this is about change. Change. Here we have to work with data type also. Okay, now you're going to use something called as modify. So you can use either change or modify in order to modify the data type. Alter table student, modify age integer of 4. So maybe it was integer of 2 initially. Now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make it as integer of 4 using the keyword modify in place of change. So in place of change, I'm going to work with something which is called as modify. Okay. Now is it clear, Jagdish? Is my voice clear, Jagdish? All of you? Is it clear, ma? Okay. Sorry for that. Now, suppose that we want to add a column at a specific position in the table. What we are going to do is we are going to use a keyword called after. We are going to use a keyword called after. So by default, whenever you want to add a column, it gets added at the last mark. All of you have seen that. So whenever you want to add a column, it gets added at the last. Now, if at all I'm interested to add a column after SH, I'm interested in adding a column after SH, then what you can do is alter table members, add a particular column after a particular column. So see how that works is alter table student, add column, I'll say gender varchar of 2 after sh. Now I'll say select star from student. See, gender has been added at the third position. That is nothing but after a particular column name. Now, what usually happens if at all I blindly add a column? I'll say instead of gender, I'll say grade. Now see, select star from student. See, grade would be automatically added at the end. Now, if at all I want to add a particular column as the first column of the table, what can I do? A small question. I want to add a particular column as the first column of the table. How do I do that? Please respond. So before it should be name and gender is already existing. I'll say school. Okay. It's giving an error, ma. Before is not supported. Then what? Before is not supported. How do I do that? $72. Is there a possibility I can add a column at the beginning of a table, ma? 72 7N 6N Yes. Can we add using views? How ma? It's quite simple, ma. Now see, alter table student, add column, school varchar of 2 first. That's it. Are you getting that? Now, if at all you want to add one more field before that, you can do that. I'll say name of the field is hi. I can do that. Hi comes first. Okay, there's nothing called second or third, Amma. So you can perform it after. You can directly add at the end, that is by default. So since end is default, you need not work with any other thing. And first is using the concept of first. So this is the way you're going to work with altering tables. Any questions in altering tables, ma? You're able to understand or no, Amma? I'm not getting anything. Are you able to understand? How do you create a view? How you work with destroying views? All that stuff, is it okay? How you're going to alter tables, everything, ma? See, ma, the next important topic is joins. Coming back to relational algebra, ma. We are going back again to relational algebra, and this will also function in the same way with your MySQL. Okay, so it is both theoretical as well as practical approach. Okay, so join. Join operation is essentially a Cartesian product. So when I was talking about Cartesian product, I told you there was some disadvantage of using a Cartesian product, which is nothing but cross product, Amma. Cartesian product is nothing but cross product. So what was the problem was there is a lot of redundancy that is existing while you try to perform cross product between two tables. So for that reason, we are going to work with the concept of joins, which is coming with certain conditions. It is a Cartesian product along with enforcement of certain conditions. That is nothing but a join. So see, join operation is essentially a Cartesian product followed by a selection criterion. Followed by a selection criterion, which is nothing but indirectly, I can say it is a condition, if at all given. This is denoted by this particular symbol, ma. So join is represented by this particular symbol while you're working theoretically. While you're working theoretically, this is the symbol. And it is used or it allows in joining related tuples from different tables. So whenever there is a match found between the tuples of different tables, then that particular thing would be coming as an output whenever I perform a join operation. Okay. And I told you there are different kinds of join. The first and the simplest kind of join is the natural join. That is represented by a symbol, this particular symbol. I think the name of this is, let me check it once more. Bouty. The name of the symbol is Bouty. So the join symbol name is Bouty over here, okay? So Bouty is the symbol, or you can specify this particular symbol. Writing it is very simple. Now, what do you mean by a natural join? Natural join can be performed if there is a common attribute that is existing between two tables. So whenever there are common columns with common domains that are existing between two relations, then natural join would be automatically performed without specifying any condition. Okay. Now what I'm trying to take over here is I'm working with a table called C, which has num comma square of that particular number, and a table called D, which has num comma cube of that particular number. So num square num cube. So numbers here are 2 comma 3, numbers here are 2 comma 3. Now see, what is the common column between the relation C and D is number. So natural join would be performed on this particular column num. Okay. And since 2 and 3 are existing in both the cases, the resultant C Bouty D, which is nothing but C natural join D, would be 2 comma 3, square 4 comma 9, and cube 427 would be displayed out. So this we will do practically also. Now it is being performed theoretically. So the resultant natural join would be denoted using C Bouty D. This is my C table. This is my D table. Now, if at all, what are the common attributes that are existing only will be taken care of. So in this case, number is displayed out, square is displayed out, cube is displayed out. Okay. Sometimes in MySQL, what will happen? Number would be repeated twice. So number with respect to C and number with respect to D would be printed out twice. Here, for simplicity purpose, I'm showing it number comma square comma cube. So this is the concept of your natural join. Okay. Next one. There's something called as outer join. And in an outer join, along with tuples that satisfies the matching criteria, we can also include some or all tuples that do not match the criteria. So this will display all the matching criteria along with some or all the tuples that do not match the criteria also. That is the concept of your outer join. And we are going to work with left outer join, right outer join, and full join. So these are the three things what we are going to work with in case of outer joins. So the first one is left outer join. I told you, if at all you want to work with set difference, you're going to work with something called as left outer join. There is something called as right outer join. And lastly, you have got full outer join. Next, whenever you wish to perform intersection operation, you're going to work with something which is called as inner join. So you're going to work with different kinds of joins. I've just covered natural join now. I'll be covering what is outer join, what are the different kinds of outer joins, everything in the next class. Now, If at all you do not have any questions, I'll be giving you some activities.